Over the past kind of year or so, we've seen a huge increase in a lot of social media creators that are using social media to steer people into their OF, right? And it's led to some very controversial moments. We've seen it with the likes of Lily Phillips, Katie Robertson, Bonnie Blue, and the like of that, right? And it's kind of a catching on trend, where there's a lot of money to be made in OF, right? Because people want to see crazy stuff. All right, and you know, you get my vibe. But it's also led to a lot of OF-based creators coming together, bringing all of their influence into one place, right? Like the Bop House, for example. Now, just hold on to that information because it will be important later. Netflix have just dropped a fantastic documentary all about Piper Rockelle. Now, Piper Rockelle was, or still is, I suppose, a huge social media influencer. She started out as a child social media influencer in a lot of, you know, group-made YouTube channels and stuff like this. And then it sparked out into her, you know, basically making a bit of a career for herself. But it was all, the documentary essentially shows that it was all orchestrated by her mother. So, you know, the documentary by Netflix was Bad Influence, which, if you haven't seen it, you definitely need to. It's really unhinged. It's really disturbing. But, you know, Rockelle is a 17-year-old American social media influencer, singer, dancer, born on August 21st, 2007. In her early life, she was raised primarily by her mother, Tiffany, who was from a single-parent household. Piper had little contact with her father. Moving on, she had a social media career, so Piper gained traction at the age of 9 on Musical.ly, which is now TikTok, with lip sync, dance videos, all the rest of it. She launched her YouTube channel in November of 2016, posting pranks, challenges, and DIY content, which grew to over 12 million subscribers and 1.8 billion views by 2022, and her TikTok following has exceeded 12 million, and she now has 5.6 million followers on Instagram. So she's made a huge name for herself, but there's loads of controversy surrounding her, especially to do with her mother, Tiffany, who basically has been orchestrating a lot of things behind the scenes. But what started out as a very innocent child, towards the ages of 14, 15, started to kind of take a bit of a turn, and it's shown within the Netflix documentary that her content was essentially starting to become a bit more sexualized, even though she was a minor. So it was very softcore stuff, okay? But the writing was on the wall. I'm not going to show any of it because it's deeply disturbing, and I don't feel comfortable showing that. But her mum was very comfortable doing it because it brought in loads of money. Now, Piper is 17 at the time of recording this video. She's soon to turn 18, very, very soon. And what started out as kind of softcore stuff seems to be getting prepped to be moved into a bit more of a hardcore thing. And what I mean by that is she started making content, you know, subtle content with the Bop House, which of course is known for all of its OF creators. Now you can see where these two stories are kind of intertwining. So she started out with some innocent videos, okay? Like this.
I've got a big ego. I really don't know why it's such a big deal though.
Now, on the surface, nothing really wrong with that video. It's not too, you know, like, it's not too much on show. She's not doing any inappropriate dances. But the issue that people have, and the controversies came in because she's collaborating with adult industry creators. So why is a minor doing videos with those people? Some people have said, oh, it's just because, you know, clout brings clout, and, you know, two juggernauts of the social media world come together, they both get followers off the back of each other. Maybe. But then there's also videos like this.
Shotties with a big old butt, that's two. 4G out of sets on a truck. 1 to the kidney, 2 to the dome. That's left, right, go. Got a rollie for the brunch and a panic for the show. That's left.
Let's not forget, 17, okay? That's not the worst of it. She then does even more videos. Okay, not too bad. Like, you know, you can see the direction, and like, this is the kind of content that she's making at the time.
I can see this
right? Like, it's not the worst content in the world, but it did land her in a little bit of hot water. But a lot of people were wondering, why on earth is Piper Rockelle, 17-year-old, collaborating with known adult industry workers? It just doesn't sit right. It doesn't seem to fit. There's something not quite right about it. Well, a lot of people, after watching the Bad Influence documentary, are starting to see exactly why. There's a lot of orchestrating going on in the background. Rockelle's mum, especially, right? Tiffany. And, you know, people are starting to wise up to the fact that this isn't just about, you know, child-led content anymore. It's doing what she did as a child, like, that really succeeded, which was content creation in groups, but just transitioning that over into the adult world. And, you know, there's a lot of rumors floating about the internet that as soon as she turns 18, she's got a contract lined up, ready to go into the Bop House and to start creating content just like that, which is really disturbing considering this girl is 17 years old.
The issue with this child, Piper Rockelle, being in the Bop House is that this was her mom's way of soft launching her into the industry as they build up to her 18th birthday, and that is disgusting. This was clearly a planned collaboration that had to be scheduled and cleared with both of their teams. We know that Tiffany, Piper's mom, runs her team, and there's absolutely no coincidence that Piper's mom scheduled this collaboration with Sophie Rain, because Sophie Rain is known for making $50 million in her first year as an S worker because of how young she looks. That's strategic. That's planned. This is them building up to this poor child's 18th birthday. She's already on a site called Brand Army, and as we learned in the documentary called Bad Influence on Netflix, Piper's already on this website, and her mother will encourage her to go Brand Army mode, which means to... I don't know how else to say that.
She has been looking for other avenues, and when I say she, Tiffany, has been looking for other avenues to monetize her child. I'm also aware that Piper is on another website called Brand Army, and Brand Army is often compared to OnlyFans.
On Brand Army, you can be as young as 13 to actually create content on there, but in order for people to subscribe to that content, they have to be at least 18.
Meaning, Brand Army is a website that is allowing adults to subscribe to exclusive content of minors. I don't know how a website justifies this. I don't know how it is legal.
This is a girl who has been trapped in this her whole entire life. She does.
Now, Piper obviously knows no different, right? Like the creator there was just saying, she knows no different. This has been her life for as long as she can remember. As long as she can remember, she's been a content creator, literally like puppeteered by her mum behind the scenes. Now, yes, she's made a lot of money for herself. Yes, she's made a lot of money for her mum. Yes, she's got a very successful career, and she's going to become, you know, a very successful creator later on. But is this right? Is this okay? Absolutely not. And as we've seen there, she's already on a site similar to OF, but for minors. Like, where do the lines get drawn? You know? It's deeply disturbing to see the influence that these kind of, you know, OF creators have, especially on the younger generations. And at what point do we kind of say, like, this is far enough, you know? What laws need to come into place where kids are protected? I know there's been a lot of work that's been done, especially off the back of Ryan's Toys World, for example, whatever he's called now, where, you know, these creators need to make a certain amount of money like the kids do. And that's all well and good, but where's the protection for, like, kids like Piper Rockelle? Because, you know, she knows no different. She's been led down this path and told that it's fantastic, which I'm sure it is, but essentially, her mum is pimping her out to a degree, and that's messed up for her own personal gain. Like, her mum is literally pimping her out. What on earth is going on? Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, jump scare the hell out of that like button if you agree with me, and until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.